Well, I'm in Wakefield and I've just arrived at the Wakefield Cemetery, the one in Sugar Lane, and I'm coming a side entrance, but I see straight away a wealth of new graves. Over there's several people attending the graves. There's a digger presumably digging a new grave. Very much an active graveyard. Well, I shall walk up through the new graves, avoiding a number of people here attending the graves. The one in front of me is obviously very new. This is very much a used cemetery. You hear voices in the background, I expect, for some children. Very nicely kept. There's a new grave there. This one looks like a child's grave. 9 hours old. Next to one, age 60. And another child's grave behind. We'll keep moving up because there's quite a lot of people here. One here I notice with it says the Burma Star at the top, in loving memory of Lawrence Sewell. Carry on down here. And yet more very new ones. Not sure I've seen a cemetery recently that has so many new graves just completed. That one there is beautiful for Isla, our beautiful daughter. 2013, 2012, 8 years and 8 months. That's tragic. Over here is a brand new one. Very nicely kept though. Certainly choose this as a nice graveyard to finish your days in. Look at the flowers on this. Now they're silk flowers, but they still take a lot of work to keep that many nice. 54 Stuart William Chapman, Rocky. Someone cares for Rocky's grave. We're over here. This is a strange one on the back of the stone. It says Brats, almost like graffiti. Let's move around the front and see what must make any sense of that. Age 7 years. Oh look, there's a picture of her. Kathleen Jade Broadbent. You tried so hard to stay with us, but it was all in vain. God gently closed your weary eyes and took away your pain. Very much a cared for grave still. I'll wander over to this one with some symbols on it. Young Bala. And it's got Liverpool Football Club and some boxing gloves, and it says Mam's Lad. Joe 27, Forever Young, Joseph James Taylor. Another one very cared for here with the flowers. I've moved across the other side of the main path. There are just so many modern graves, well cared for. Over in the distance there looks like some very recent burials. Well, as new cemeteries go, this has got to rank very highly, the way it's looked after, the way people care for the graves. I'm here with a mass of blue flowers on it. Come round and have a look at the name. I see Dublin down there. Katie Nicholson, 1994, age 64. James, 2012, and Joanne, 1964. I've walked through the new part of the graveyard. And at the far side is a road we have to cross, and then we enter the old part. Again, it's all part of Wakefield Cemetery. This one says Doncaster Road, and the other one was Wakefield Cemetery, Sugar Lane. Now we can see here quite a wealth of the old style Victorian Edwardian memorials. Then across to the right there is this tower. I imagine that's the remains of one of the chapels of rest. Chapels of rest aren't really used anymore for burials. You have a service either in a church or in a building of some sort. You don't need to come to the graveyard to have it. So many of them are derelict. I suspect that one has fallen down. Well, we'll walk down here and see some of the larger memorials. I will say that having walked through the town centre of Wakefield, I'm very impressed. It's got some lovely architecture and it's got its own cathedral, rather more than I expected. Certainly it's worth a visit. Now this tall one, I'm hoping will have a name on it somewhere. 3 sides are blank. Let's go to the final side. And sadly, it's almost impossible to read that. Thomas, I don't get the second name, could be Tag. Let's move on round. Nice one. One with a point on behind it. I think there's some names on that, so let's get an idea of what family that was. Oswald Victor, the second son of Charles Frederick and Florence Marie Thompson, 1899. And then there's William, the second son. So we're looking at a Thompson family memorial. Just carry on walking down here. It's kept very nice and tidy. There are gaps. They've obviously cleared away stones that have collapsed, but sometimes you have to do that. Tall one over by the fence there, almost lost in the tree with the white stone. Maybe the inscription is straightforward to read on that. William Harrison Rhodes, eldest son of the late William Rhodes. He died in 1911. Let me go round to the face. There we are. William Rhodes, the Mayor of Wakefield in 1903 and 4, and he died in 1904, possibly in office. Yes, there we are. He died in harness, serving God and his city. William Rhodes. Got some here which have got a little overgrown with the sycamore and ivy. Very nicely kept. Along with this super new part of the graveyard, this old part is also very well kept. The grass is down. Those memorials that have toppled have been moved away, or most of them, one exception there. Blocks of stone here, carved out of one piece, I suspect, to make it look as though it's 4 blocks. May have had something on the top originally. Edwin, the beloved husband of Elizabeth Dobson, 1906. And I can see there a war grave, and in fact over there is a whole group of war graves. We'll work our way across to them. Well, there are some 113 war graves in Wakefield Cemetery. This one standing on its own is Private T.W. Dent, King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry, 1919. If I swing around to the right here, there's a whole group of them, about 12. They're facing away from me, but we'll work our way round and see some of the names. A. Smith, Sergeant, Royal Artillery, 1942. F. King, Royal Artillery, 1940. J. F. Richardson, Royal Army Medical Corps. Let's go back a row. T. Elliot, Duke of Wellington's Regiment. J. R. Horrocks. T. F. S. Morgan. It's always interesting when they tell you a little bit about the person. And this is Ruth, the wife of James Hudson, a butcher of this city. A rather sad epitaph for John Hodgson, 1893. He suffered much, but murmured not. We watched him day by day. His aching heart grew worse and worse until he passed away. This one here in a different colour is for the Lovell family. 1931, age 39, brother 1959, 1967. A very peaceful spot. Seen a couple of other people. I think they were walking their dogs. But you've really got the graveyard to yourself. Just here is a war grave tucked in. Sergeant J. Powell, navigator in the Royal Air Force, 1943, age 31. And the very well known words at the bottom: at the going down of the sun and in the morning we will remember them. Well, there's a stone there, and the interesting thing is the bottom inscription has been cleaned, and it refers to 2 people that died in New Zealand, one at New Plymouth and one at Awamatu. I would suspect that their relatives have been across this country, found the gravestone and cleaned up that part of the inscription. This one very clearly remembered with the wreath. Pioneer W. Goodwin of the Royal Engineers, 1918. Now there's clearly a story behind this one. Alan Miles, beloved son of Clarence and Elizabeth Heap, accidentally killed on Scafell. That's up in the Lake District. It's the highest peak. In 1948, aged 17. Alan Miles, the son of Clarence and Elizabeth Heap. Well, I'm completing a circuit and more of the old section of the graveyard. You can see the square tower, which I think is part of the Chapels of Rest. This pointed one, though, I imagine it's a memorial to somebody, but the inscription is completely hidden, if there is one, by that creeper. So I'm going to move from the old part back to the new part now and just walk through that. It is the star of Wakefield show for me. It is so beautifully kept and is so active. For me, it is the best part of the cemetery. Well, along the front edge we have the memorials to those that were not buried here, usually cremated, but so many of them have got flowers. So many of them are attended to. These are the latest memorials in the Garden of Remembrance for those who aren't buried here, and this is done delightfully. Each person gets a little square plot with pebbles. They can put flowers, mementos. The plinth at the back is big enough to have names, dates, even a picture. There's one waiting for a name there. This has got to be one of the best done Gardens of Remembrance I've seen. Each one is mounted firmly on a concrete base, so there's going to be no subsidence. There's one with a picture on it. One of those with flowers, a butterfly. What a lovely way of remembering somebody. And over here we go down to the very colourful section I could see. This one's a new grave. It hasn't got a memorial yet. It's just the raw earth, and yet they've planted it out. My goodness, look at that. And the end it says Mohammed Hussein. And we do know that the Islamic graves do tend to turn them into miniature gardens. And in fact, this section all the way down is obviously for those of that faith. And that's why it was so colourful from a distance. Look at this one with the flowers on it. They're not silk flowers, they're real flowers. Beautiful. And then on this spot, is that on a grave or just a bit? There's a bench. My goodness me, just look at it all, the care. It's like a flower show in its own right. It's just amazing. There's one down here. Got to show you this. There's even a couple of chairs so you can sit. And they are silk flowers, but that's still a lot of work. Over there, bird box, a pillar box, I think, post box, 2 chairs. So much work gone into this area. And they've got a bench here. Well, with these final shots of this beautiful area in the graveyard, I'm going to take my leave of Wakefield Cemetery. Certainly worth a visit if you're in the area. And as I mentioned earlier, Wakefield town has got some wonderful buildings. I'm impressed by the whole thing. Till the next time.